Hi everybody, it's Mike Pach with Three Peaks Photography. I'm very excited to share this video with you because I made a scientific discovery inside of Photoshop regarding stitching photos together for panoramas. I have had this problem on and off since I think the first day I started using Photoshop, and why I put up with it for so long I'm not sure, but I am now able to go back to previous images that I shot that didn't work, and now I have a solution. So what finally inspired me to do this was I shot a 360-degree panorama during a Northern Lights display, and I couldn't get it to stitch together. So I did a little digging, got on the Adobe community website, and found the answer. So let me show you. Okay, so I'm in Photoshop, and let me ask you, how many times have you tried to stitch together some images to make a panorama, expecting to get results like this, but you end up with something like this? What the hell is that? How am I supposed to use it? I can't. It's just a bunch of junk. I gotta throw it away, and maybe I even gotta throw away the images I stitched for the panorama. I can try different methods of stitching. I could try eliminating some of the photos because maybe I have too many. Or maybe I think that Photoshop really sucks at doing this and I have to buy a different program like PT-GUI. Well, let me tell you, I sent some photos that I was having trouble with to a friend of mine that has PT-GUI, and he couldn't stitch them together either. All right, so there is a very simple solution to this problem, and let me show you what that is. If I go to the edit menu, if I'm on PC, edit menu, all the way down to preferences. On Mac, I believe this is under the Photoshop menu, the preferences selection. With this pop-out menu, then I go halfway down to scratch disks. When I click on this, I get this cool little window that shows me all of the hard drives connected to my computer. These are either internal or external, and I get to choose which one to use or which ones I want to use for my scratch disks. Okay, right now I have my C drive selected, which only has 103 gigabytes available in memory. So it's my understanding that what happens when you stitch images together, that Photoshop with the photo merge function takes those files, puts them into memory, and then works on them there. And if you don't have enough memory in your scratch disks, then you get something like I just showed you. Okay, so I'm looking at my list of drives here, and this drive Q has quite a bit of available memory. 7.3 terabytes to be exact. This is one of my 10 terabyte drives. I'm going to uncheck the C drive, and then I'm going to click OK. And this is going to solve my problem. Okay, so let me show you what I did. I'm going to go over to Bridge, and you can do this in Lightroom as well if you want to. That particular evening, I shot 40 images, and I have them all selected here, 40 images to make this 360-degree panorama. I was using a geared head, and that made things easier because all I had to do was adjust the knob to pan, and I panned a certain number of turns for each successive image, and I went all the way around in a circle. So I started near these buildings, and then I went all the way around and came back. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here, this is one of the things I like about Bridge. I'm going to go to the Tools menu, and I'm going to go down to the bottom to Photoshop and then choose Photo Merge. This is going to take me into Photoshop into the and give me the Photo Merge dialog box. There's that ugly whatever that is that we need to throw away. This will just take a moment for Photoshop to gather up all those files. There we go. All right, so here's the list of all of my files in the middle, and I can make sure all of them are there. And then auto layout is automatically selected, and that's normally where I leave it and normally where I start. If I have problems with auto, then I might go down to reposition, and sometimes that works better depending upon how I took the photos. So from here, all I have to do is click OK. I can also get to this dialog box. I'll show you here. I'll cancel out of this. I can also get to this dialog box by going to File, Automate, and then Photo Merge. Okay. I get the same dialog box, and then I hit the Browse button right here to search for my files. All right. So to save you the time of having to look at what Photoshop's doing to create the panorama, because I changed the scratch disk to something that had much more space available, this is my resulting stitch. Look at that. That is amazing. Over in the layers panel, you can see all 40 images there and their corresponding masks. These little lines that look like cracks, just ignore them. They will go away. This is just showing you the separation between the different images. So from here, what I want to do is I want to create a layer that I can work on and do my camera raw edits. I don't do camera raw edits before stitching. I do them afterwards, and that helps the whole situation. So I'm going to go over to the layers panel, make sure that my top layer is highlighted as the active one. Then I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Control-Alt-Shift-E or Command-Option-Shift-E, and that merges all of the layers together into one that you see here on the top. That's labeled as layer 1. I can change the name if I want. And that allows me to then use the filters, the smart filters, change this or convert this to a smart filter. And then I am going to add or use the camera raw filter. I still have all of those 40 layers intact. I'm just creating this one so that I can work on it without disturbing the others. And now I'm going to choose camera raw filter, and I can make whatever camera raw edits I want once I'm in the camera raw filter. So here we are. This is camera raw. Has most of the tools that we use in the ordinary workflow. I can use masks if I want. I can do whatever I want. And because I'm using this as a smart filter, it's then non-destructive, and I can go back and make further edits if I want. So this is the preferred method within your workflow to work non-destructively. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Check this out. When I looked at the resulting image, I could not find a single flaw. And this to me is very impressive, especially when you've got tiny stars in the sky. A lot of times what happens when stitching panos together is you get double stars, especially if you're doing tracked images and it's taking you a long time to get from one position to the next. But this is absolutely amazing, and I'm gonna hopefully inspire you to go back into some of your archives and rework some of those stitches that didn't pan out, no pun intended, So have fun. If it's, it's right now I'm filming in January, so for us here it's wintertime, so maybe on some cold days or a snow day you've got some time and you can go in and rework some images. So I'm very excited about this because I have a lot of stuff that I shot over the past few months that I need to go and take a look at and see what I can do. All right, so now no need to buy a different third-party stitching program. You can do it all right here in Photoshop. You will thank me later.